Good afternoon, everybody. It's Miss Brown here. I hope you're having a really good day. Today's assembly is going to be touching on some of the themes that Mr. Healy and Miss Pemberton have talked about in their assembly weeks, and we are going to come back to mental health. The slight difference with this week's assembly, though, is that we're going to talk about mental health, but from the perspective of how this affects young people, such as yourselves in schools and outside of school. So the focus really today is going to be talking about mental health, some of the stigmas that young people face, and what we can be doing as a community in school to try and promote better mental health and looking after each other as a big school community as well. For this assembly, you will likely need a whiteboard and a whiteboard pen, so please take some time to make sure you've got those together. Once you have done that with your tutor, I would just like you to answer the following two questions and have a minute or two where you can discuss some of these questions. So question number one, what is mental health? And question number two, how does it affect young people? So you need to talk about what mental health is and why this has an impact on young people specifically. So hopefully by now you've been able to have that conversation, hopefully a mature conversation with the rest of your group about what mental health is and why young people more than ever are now talking more openly about mental health. The example I use for this is during lockdown, we were unable to leave our houses. We were having to teach you online. You would have been talking to your friends largely over the phone and video calls, things like that. But not having that human contact and going out and doing whatever you liked and seeing people on a daily basis, for some of you, that might have had quite a large impact. I know there were certainly days where I was at home where it felt a little bit lonely and it was very isolating. So the one thing that I decided to go and do was do a little bit of research about mental health, specifically how it was affecting young people. So I reached out and asked Compass Buzz, who are a group I'm going to mention a little bit later on, and I asked them what are the biggest problems that young people face in terms of their mental health. And they gave me three statistics that I think is really important for you as young people to know. So, the first thing they told me was that 1 in 4 young people either suffer with the occasional mental health issue or they have difficulty overcoming mental health problems. But surprisingly, this is actually lower than it was about 10 years ago. So that shows us then that clearly there are conversations going on and there are strategies that are being put into place, but they did emphasise that there is still a long way to go, and this is where our school is going to come into play. Secondly, they told me that if young people are suffering from mental health, they're likely to exhibit signs before they are the age of 14. Now, some of you will be around that age, some of you will be older and younger, and might feel quite strongly that this is something that you know someone has struggled with, which is why we need to have this conversation. Finally, and I think this is probably one of the most important things, they said that they still struggle when they talk with young people to overcome the stigma of boys don't cry. Now, this is something that I think we are starting to have more conversations about, but there is still a stigma that boys do not talk about mental health, girls talk about mental health, and I'm hoping that by the end of this assembly this is something that we're going to start to break the stigma of, because Compass Buzz was saying that because some boys don't talk about their mental health, what often happens is this anxiety or these feelings that they have build up and up and up, and that exhibits itself in very serious ways because they've not been able to have that conversation. So these are some of the things that young people face, and now we're going to have a bit of a discussion about what we can be doing to troubleshoot and problem solve some of these issues. So before I recorded this assembly, I went and asked a few members of staff how they would best describe mental health and how they would advise overcoming it or attempting to put some strategies into place. And Mr. Fairclough gave, I think, the best description that I've ever heard in terms of mental health. And he said, mental health is a bit like a dot. Imagine you have an A4 white piece of paper, and in the middle you have this tiny little dot. It starts off very small. Now that dot could be feeling a bit worried about an exam, feeling unsure about a friendship, not feeling comfortable with certain things, but it starts off very, very small. Now, the more you focus on it and the more you are unable to have that conversation with someone around you, the bigger that dot is going to get, until eventually that A4 white sheet of paper, you can't see anything else on it because it is just covered in the colour of this, what was a small dot. Now, this is very similar to how mental health works. Sometimes, as a young person, when you are spinning loads of plates and you're juggling exams and friendships and a job and hobbies, you don't actually realise that this can take a toll on your mental health. And like Mr. Healy was saying in his assembly, not having 5 or 10 minutes in a day to ground yourself and reflect on the day, overall, that can take its toll, and you can tax your body. You can literally feel as though you've not had chance to breathe or even move. So when that dot becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, you are essentially, or what is happening is, you are essentially being suffocated from the inside, because the problems that you have, you're not getting that opportunity to think about them and deal with them. And I think for young people, especially when you've gone from online and virtual learning to coming back into school, for some of you, you might have felt like that little dot you had when you were online learning at home has got bigger since you have come back to school. And at the moment, this is not something that would surprise us. It has been a huge jump, but it is important that if you are feeling this way, you are going to get the right support. Now, my biggest advice for this is speak to a member of staff, speak to someone around you, because as soon as you start talking and condensing and getting some of those feelings out, over time, that dot is going to get smaller and smaller and smaller. The reason it grows bigger in the first place is because you are harbouring these feelings and you're not talking to anybody about them. So the first bit of advice I would give for your mental health, speak out to somebody. Now, I've also put some other things around that dot on there that can help you ground yourself and have that few moments in a day to actually breathe and take time to look after yourself. So things like even remembering that your family love you to bits and pieces. So turning your phone off when you go home and sitting down and watching really rubbish telly, that can be the best kind of self-care that you can have, just spending time with your family. Friends and support networks as well. Obviously, you will have some of these in school where you will be able to see friends on lunch and break. Make sure you're having conversations with them and you're checking in with them and asking how they are. Setting realistic goals, I think, is a really, really important one. So if you are somebody, for example, if you're in year 11 and you're feeling a little bit anxious about exams or mocks or anything like that, a realistic goal would not be, I'm going to get 9s on every single mock, and if I don't, I'm going to be really, really upset about it. A realistic goal for you might just be, I'm going to create a revision timetable. And then once I've done that, at least I've been practical. I've organised myself as realistically as I can. So it's just make sure that you're being realistic with yourself and not putting more pressure on yourself. Again, these bottom two, plans at the weekend and hobbies that you enjoy. Earlier I described it like spinning plates. If you're doing too much, it can often feel like there's pressure on you, but actually find something that you can take time to enjoy. So in school, for example, I know the staff at the moment that we all like to watch Bake Off and we talk about it and we speak as we're watching it. That is something that I really, really enjoy doing. But for you, it might be something different. It might be going to the gym or going for a walk with your friends or having a conversation with somebody outside of school. Whatever it works for you, and it might take time to find something that you do enjoy. There's nothing wrong with experimenting with different hobbies and different plans, but please make sure that you are getting time to actually do things you enjoy, because that dot as it grows even bigger, you can shrink it by taking time to look after yourself first. So at this stage, I've lectured you quite a bit about mental health, and I've given you my top tips of how to deal with things and what you need to be doing to look after yourself. But I think we need to make this a bit more general now. And as a school, we need to be looking at what we can be doing as a community of people to support and show solidarity with young people who are struggling with mental health. Remember, it's not just a case of if I feel fine, everybody is. We have to be considerate and look at how other people might be feeling. So On Friday the 9th of October, which is this Friday, Lady Lumley's is going to support Young Minds, and we're going to raise some money for mental health for young people and donate that money. So all we're asking is on Friday we would like you to wear a yellow piece of clothing to celebrate and show solidarity with Hello Yellow, which supports young minds and mental health. Now this could be a headband, a scarf, some shoes, anything you have that is remotely yellow coloured. We are asking you to wear this on Friday, so it is going to be a non-uniform day. We are also asking you to bring £1 into school, because that money is going to be donated to this Young Minds charity to show that we are supportive as a school, and we are going to try and raise this money for people who may be struggling. So maybe write this in your planner if you feel like you might forget. Friday the 9th of October, we are taking part in Young Minds, and we're going to raise some money and we're going to give it to charity to show that we are lovely, caring young people. So you'll be glad to know that in a few minutes the sound of my voice will not be flooding your ears and you'll be able to go to period 3. But there's one final thing that I want to discuss before that happens. So as a tutor group, I think it's really, really important that you kind of have this discussion and action plan when it comes to mental health, because what I don't want to happen is you to have listened to this assembly, we take part in the Young Minds, and then we never talking about it again. It needs to be a theme that we constantly discuss. So my year 7 tutors, they decided that they would like to talk about mental health more on a regular basis. So something that we do is we have this thing called a little positivity jar, where every Friday they write on a post-it note something positive that they've done or they've felt, and we put it in the jar, and at the end of a term we're going to open the jar and read some of these things out. We've also created our Take What You Need display. It's probably not very clear on the PowerPoint, but we all wrote down things that we thought would be good, little quotes, and we've sellotaped them and stuck them up there, so if anyone is having a bad day they can just pinch one and take it off. Now these are very, very small baby steps, and there is room for improvement, certainly. I would like, ideally, for tutors to start discussing what they can be doing to promote mental health in tutor times. So maybe it's once a month we're going to do a positivity activity or something along those lines. So maybe next week at some point start having a bit of a brainstorm about what sort of things as a tutor group you are going to do to promote better mental health. Because talking about this once and never mentioning it again, it's not going to work. It needs to be something we are constantly evaluating. So if you have any time left at the end of this, maybe start to brainstorm some things that you would like to do, but certainly in the next few weeks, and as you have more assemblies, try and create your own tutor action plan to make sure that everybody is feeling super positive and comfortable in school.